Good morning. Today we are heading up 202 to visit the Chicken Farmer I Still Love You rock. It is a very interesting roadside rock, and I'll let David tell the story. But before we get into that, I want to talk about today. We are at 65 degrees today, and it's raining. But you know, most people would look at a day like today and decide to stay home. But I want to encourage you to get out even when it isn't the best weather. Sometimes your greatest adventures will be on days like today. I remember once when I was a kid and my parents decided that we were going to go camping that weekend. And this was in February in South Texas, and we were going to go and camp on the beach. It was
now just to make sure we're clear, their idea of camping and my idea of camping are very different. Their idea is called glamping.
Not exactly, but he's close. We did have a travel trailer, and
like I said, glamping.
But it was cold and wet that weekend, and we were the only people on the beach. And out of all the times that I went camping as a kid, that one really sticks out in my memory. I can remember going down the beach with my mom and my sister, you know, in the storm, and coming back, and when we opened the door, the smell of fresh brownies hit us because Dad had baked a batch of brownies. And so we sat around the table eating hot, fresh brownies and cold milk and just talking and spending time as a family. And it was wonderful. So even though the weather wasn't great, the trip was. So don't let a little inclement weather keep you in the house. Get out, even on days like today, and have some fun. Explore. Spend time with your family. Cemetery here is where the William Diamond, the drummer from the Revolutionary War, is buried. And the reason that we stopped is because today is about roadside things that you can see. And you know, you can have interesting adventures without ever leaving your car, which is the ultimate in accessibility. So I've stopped by there once or twice before, and I thought that y'all would find that interesting.
Okay, so we're about 3 miles out from Chicken Farmer Rock. The story behind Chicken Farmer Rock is kind of interesting. So the story goes, and I have no idea the truthfulness of this because there's a lot of different legends around it, but that a lady who was married to a farmer who, of course, raised chickens, had an argument with her husband based on the amount of time that he spent working. And she immediately regretted it, and as a way of apology / love note, went out and painted "I love you, chicken farmer" on the rock out in front of their house. Some versions of the story say that it was between where they lived and where they actually raised their animals. I don't know the true story. Anyway, that part's kind of legend. However, at one point, the town painted over it, and the local residents had a fit. Just absolutely went crazy because the town viewed it as graffiti, but the residents, to them, it was a local landmark. Well, not long after, it was found repainted, and it said, "Chicken farmer, I still love you." And the town, wisely, just left it alone. And so there it sits. And we will show it to you shortly.
It's so famous that it has its own landmark in Google. In Google.
Yeah, it's considered a historical landmark according to Google Maps. So we'll see it in a minute. And there it is, the famous Chicken Farmer Rock. So you can see it's on a busy street, but very visible. All right, so our next location is Vessel Rock in Gilsum, New Hampshire. This one I don't think we're going to be able to get out and touch because it's actually in somebody's backyard, and of course we want to respect their property. So we will go and see what we can see when we get there. So one of the things that Dan suggested on this section of the book was to not just check out the rock, but to check out Gilsum itself. It's a really pretty little town, and we just drove through parts of it, and we still have the rock itself to check out. But he specifically called out the Surrey Arch Bridge, which is right behind us. So why don't you come with me? I'm going to scramble down so that we can check it out from the river's edge. So there it is. I scrambled down to see it from river's edge. That is the tallest stone arch bridge in the state. Pretty cool. And that river's going too. Well, now let's see if I can make it back up that hill without my trekking poles and trying to hold a camera. It's just a little bit of a scramble. It's not too bad. But I tell you what, I prefer to have my trekking poles when I'm doing things like this. There we go. Now onto the rock. Okay, so we are on Vessel Rock Road now, looking for the rock. Little country lane. You can see there's not a whole lot out here. Now he indicates that the rock is actually in someone's backyard, so we're not going to be able to go up and touch this one.
I can't see because we've got it facing us.
Okay, well, let me turn it around. A beautiful little countryside here. Pretty little spot. Still looking for the rock.
eyes at Vessel Rock Road. Arrived.
Okay, well, Google thinks we're there. I haven't seen anything that looks like a big rock. Now, it was named Vessel Rock because it used to look like a vessel under sail. But an earthquake... Oh, Lynn spotted some turkeys.
You know you're out in the country when the traffic jam is because of wildlife.
Anyway, as I was saying, so in the 1800s, I want to say 1817, there was actually a big earthquake that changed the way the rock looked, which is kind of interesting because you don't think of New Hampshire as earthquake country. But
There it is.
there it is. So, as he pointed out, it's as big as the house that's sitting next to it. That is a big rock. I guarantee you, if I lived in that house as a kid, I'd be climbing that rock and that tree left and right. I'd probably get stuck in that tree. Pretty cool. So that's Vessel Rock. So this one is a bonus. I'm not sure how well we're going to be able to film this because I really don't want... We're on 124 between Jaffrey and Marlborough. And this one is not in Dan's book, but it is called, well, we call it Peace Rock because somebody had painted a hand doing a peace symbol on it. But this is pretty close to our house and just something that we wanted to share as a little bonus footage.
Thank you for coming along today on our little Sunday drive. We saw the Chicken Farmer Rock in Newberry and Vessel Rock in Gilson, and now we're heading home. I hope you enjoyed this look at our state, and if you liked what you saw, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get a notification when we upload. Have a blessed day and choose joy.